All right, looks like stuff's working. Right, so I was able to fix the mouth off stream, and now I'm going to he's so cute over there in the corner. I'm going to refine the mouth a little bit so that the way it moves is a little more realistic, and then we're going to try and implement a text-to-speech library and then make the mouth movement only happen, the call to that function when there's speech happening. What I did to get this going was I made a function that in that function we have an array and then a variable that calls a random element from that array, and then the P5 function to draw an image on the screen and place it there, and the images it's using is whatever random element from the array is drawn, and then it's doing that every time the draw function runs, which is currently set to 8 frames per second. Otherwise it gets a little crazy. The default is 30 for P5, I think, or it might be 60, I'm not sure. How the fuck did I do that? Let's try that again. I've also put a meta refresh into the index.html, so it should update every, what did I set it for? 30 seconds. Yeah, there it goes. Yeah, see, that's craziness. But 6 or 8 is about right. I would like to be able to run it at 60 frames per second, and maybe figure out a way to time so that the mouths move, the time between mouths being picked is a little longer, or the time between it being picked and being displayed is a little longer. But then you're getting into like promises to create a wait function, and that is just well beyond what I'm currently capable of. So if P5 could just go ahead and add some kind of time, like wait element into its library, that'd be fantastic. I don't know why that's not a thing that's just part of JavaScript. Like that seems like a pretty common thing where you would have something triggered and then you would want to have a delay between the trigger and that thing happening. That seems like something that would happen a lot. I suppose what I could do if I wanted to work around it would be to set the frame rate, remove the frame rate limit, and get the frame count. I know if there's 30 frames per second and I get the frame count, every time the frame count increases by 30, 1 second has gone by. So I could do, every 10 frames. But that's getting into, you know what? Maybe let's implement that. Let's look at frame count Let's look at frame count and see what we get. There might be, okay. So the frame rate here is set to 30. Okay, so at 30 is 1 second, at 60 is 2 seconds. So if I wanted, I'm trying to think of what the best way to do this would be. Let's cut the frame rate limit off. And it should go crazy here in a second. And let's console.log the frame count. And let's look at that. Oh, you know what we have to do? We have to create a variable for that. Let's call it timer. Oh, because I'm not doing it in draw. Yeah, okay. So we can see that's going up. And what we'd want to do is we'll get a timer, or we'll get a function that gets the timer variable, and maybe a modulus function that every time it's divided by 30, timer goes up by 1. Ooh, see, that meta refresh is going to create a problem with making a timer, though. Hold on. Alright, let's see here. I don't know how audible I am like that either. Sorry about that. Okay, so let's see. Let's go about creating a timer function, because why the fuck not? Okay, so you know what? Let me turn the. I know my breathing is annoying, but having to hold down control is annoying. Okay. Yeah, hopefully that fan on my graphics card doesn't decide to start acting up right now. Alright, here we go. Big swig of Powerade, and let's make a timer. And we'll call it frame timer. Alright, so the first thing we need to do is create a variable that is the timer, and then we need to grab the frame count and watch it, and every time it increases by 30, and I think we do that with the modulus. So let's see if they have reference. Be in math. What would that be? Let's JavaScript modulus, right? Position, okay. This is showing everything. Oh, the remainder. So, okay, I get it. So what I want to do is, let's make this smaller. I don't know if you guys can see when it's like that, but I think what we want is if frame rate, or no, not frame rate, frame count. Oh shit, we're gonna have to make that. Okay. Let framer equal frame count. Right? That was what that was called. Shit. Yep, frame count. Okay. And I don't have to use anything with that, just okay, so let framer equal frame count. Now, if framer modulus 30 equals 0, then timer equals timer plus equals 1. Wait, oh shit. Plus equals a thing in JavaScript. Plus equals JavaScript. Yeah. Okay. So let's make timer equal 0 on this. And let's call frame timer, and then what we'll do is we'll make frame timer console.log to that. Alright, now if I haven't fucked anything up, shit, that's wrong. Okay. Huh, what's happening here? 1 0 30. Oh, is it okay, so here's, I think what we have to do is I think we have to declare that up here. Okay. Timer is not defined. So let's make that the thing that I hate to make. Fucking hate global variables. And there we go. And that's roughly, yeah, that's roughly every second. Okay. So we've made a timer. Yay. So now, what do we do with it? I guess what we do is we make it so the mouth function is called at a reasonable-ish place. Shit, the problem with that is that I've got 1 second intervals. So I need to set the frame rate. Okay, so let me think. I can change what the frame rate is so that I can easily, if I set the frame rate to 100 and then modulus the frame count by 50, then I think half a second for a mouth movement between mouth movements is probably, oh no, because I had it set for what is 8 frames? How do you divide a second by 8? I mean, 1 second divided by oh wow, whoops, by 8, because 8 looked good. 1.125 seconds. Okay, but that still means nothing to me as far as converting I guess we'll just set the frame rate for 100 and then we'll just work from, you know, changing what we're dividing by and see what we get. All right. Oh, I have it updated. Hold on. Well, let's do this. Let's do this first. Let's change this, and then it's still moving really, really fast. Oh, because it's, I've not changed it, but the counter is moving at a much more reasonable pace, I think. So now what we do is let's do that. Okay, now nothing's doing anything. I mean, this stuff is doing stuff. Well, it's not, because it's not being, okay, it was, deep breath. I'm thinking about things that don't matter. Just gotta focus on what I'm doing. Okay, so we've got our mouth move. Excuse me. we have our mouth move, and we have our timer for the amount of time between mouth movements. All right. So now what we need is we're going to make another function, and we're going to call it animate. As long as there's not a P5 animate function already. P5 animate. Yeah, no, there's not. Okay, so we're going to call our function animate. And what it will do is it will say if well, it'll, damn it, how do we do this? We'll call frame timer, and we'll call mouth move, nope, that's not it either. We'll call frame timer and say, oh no, we don't even have to do that. We can just do it inside of the mouth function. Okay. And we'll say if should I be doing that in the setup, or the draw function rather? The frame timer. I feel I think I should. And then no. Where do I do this so that it's global? That's the issue. I need to be able to call frame timer inside of, and I might be able to. Let's see if frame timer dot framer, I think, is that a thing I can do? I feel like it is. If frame timer modulus, it's doing tens. Let's do 10. 10 equals 0. Let mouth equal a random mouth, and then we'll just call mouth move and see what breaks. Nothing. Okay, let's call frame timer and see if anything breaks. Let's turn off the console.log on it. Okay, let's do the frame timing inside of mouth move, and then we'll say if framer, I guess if that's in there we don't need this anymore. And then wait, okay, and then we'll say else mouth mouths index 1, and something broke. Okay, frame timer is not defined. Okay, that's easy enough to fix. That was a mistake to leave that in there. That's a little stilted. And it seems to be picking one mouth more often. Okay. That's more stilted. Oh, I'm an idiot. That should be 0. And then we'll change that back to 10. That's really fast, and for some reason it's almost like the alpha got turned. Let me show you guys, because you might not be able to see it very well on there. Properties, refresh. Okay, so that's what he's doing right now. That is not optimal at all. Let's get rid of this else statement and see if that fixes it. No. Let's say while. That broke all kinds of shit. Okay, so if Control S, that should bring it back. It didn't. What the hell? Fucking JavaScript. Uh-oh. Let's try this again. Waiting. Why are you waiting? Fuck. Alright. Let's close that out. Reload it. There we go. Okay. And get our developer tools back up. Alright. So that's every second. Oh, it's not holding it on the screen for long enough. It's displaying it at 100 frames per second. And it's only showing for 1 frame every time the frame count is divisible by 50 with no remainder. So what we have to do is have the mouth display for some number of frames, probably like 4 or 6. Okay. Let me think of how to do that. Shit, I've got nothing here. I was... Oh, I've got that timer. Oh, I've got that timer. Yeah. Let's set timer so that it can be used outside of that if statement that isn't being used for anything else. I don't know why. That's really annoying. I don't know why it keeps doing that. Go fix my code. Sorry, I know this is boring. Not that anyone's watching but me. Alright, so now now we have the timer. This isn't getting used for anything. Oh, well, we don't have the timer yet, but let timer. Okay. Oh, I did need that if statement to move the timer. Duh. Okay. Let timer. Okay, now while timer is less than so here's the thing. Each one of these is 1 second. Oh, no. Each 100 frames is a second. So half of second is 50. Right? I set it for 100. Okay, so half is that's right. That's fine. So while timer is less than 50, and then timer equals 0 again, and then close that off. Let's see what we broke. All the things. The mouth doesn't work now. Fuck. Why doesn't it work? Okay, so up here we have our timer. Timer plus equals 1 every time it goes to half a second. So, okay. Let's try lowering it and just seeing what happens. Not a damn thing. Okay, so there's some fundamental thing here that I'm doing wrong. If it's going up every half a second, do I need to do this after? No, that doesn't make sense. Yeah, that doesn't make sense. The timer has to go up. Before So I want it to display for like half. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. Let's change framer to count actual seconds and see what it does. And let's cut out the timer. Okay. Something about okay, so now we've got a goofed up looking mouth again. But believe it or not, that's progress. 60, 100. Now it should do one every second. Boom, 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 boom. It kind of looked better. Okay. So every half second now it's changing. Wait, that's what I wanted. Except it's not displaying for a half second. It's displaying for wait, or is it? Right? Because it's doing this every time it's modulus by 50 equals 0. So maybe I need it to display more often than that. Or less often, rather. Let's do something goofy. Let's try random. No, that's not working. Let's do this. Let's try goofy frame rate. No, that's not gonna work. I need to do something until something, which is a while loop. Let's look at while loops. Reference while. Really? Okay. Look at the examples. While. Okay. Loop. function draw. That's not what I'm looking for. So let's go. Maybe that one, probably this one. Let's look at a for loop. No, that's not while. So while a thing is happening, I mean, the only thing I could think of is what is this mess? I don't see a while or for loop in there. Well, it's just drawing. Okay. Anyhow, nested loops. No, there's a for loop inside of the draw function. X is 0 and X is less than or equal to with X plus equals 50. Anyway, god damn it. Okay, so if framer modulus, this is the only way I can think to do this, is to have this. Oh, you know what, why I think I figured it out, why it didn't work last time. Haha. Boom. I have to set timer to 0 each time it runs, right? Timer plus equals, timer equals timer plus 1. No. Plus equals 1. Okay. And then reset timer to 0 after. And then while timer less than 5. All right, let's see if this breaks it. It's not broken, but it's not well, I mean, it's broken. This is not doing anything. And I think it's because it's setting timer to 0. Every time. Man, yeah. So oh, well then in that case, we'll just say up here, timer plus equals 1 if timer is ever greater than, we set it for 5, so we'll say 6. And then that'll give a couple extra frames between, I think. Then reset timer to 0. Still nan. Still nan. Does that mean what I think it means? Global nan property is a value representing not a number. So let's let timer equal 0. God damn it, I keep doing that. Okay. We're not console.logging the timer now, though. Timer equals 0. Okay, let's remove that and see what happens. File, save. Refresh it. Oh. It crashed or something. Okay, well, fuck. Right? Close it. Can I? Well, for the love of fuck. There we go. Okay. Well, nothing's happening there. Check the console, and we're not logging anything. So, something's not fucking working. Okay, so I think this is where we ended up having the trouble. No. Oh, for the love of fuck. Why? Oh Lord, why? Let's do something. Got it down here. Let's see. Okay, let's that didn't work either. So what we'll do is I think it's slash. Yeah, that makes things easier. delete that. Oh great, now I'm not getting any. Oh. Fuck. Because of fucking brackets. Oh, I need to just figure out how to use Atom. This is... Okay, nope. Nope. Done.